everybody, it is Laura. I do not know if I'm actually going to get anybody showing up live in chat because I haven't done a video in like 6 months. Fair warning for anybody who may be joining me for the first time. I ramble a lot. I like to think of this as an endearing quality. I swear a lot. I also like to think that that's endearing. I might not be correct about that. It might depend on who you are. I'm going to try and pull up chat in case. It says I have a viewer, so hello. I know the viewer's not me yet because I didn't actually pull up the chat yet. So hello to whoever is joining. I am going to pull up chat, and I have my air conditioner on. So if you have an issue with that creating too much noise, if you could let me know, that would be awesome. I do not know what I'm doing right now. It's been so long since I did this. Took me a few minutes to figure out what I was doing. All right, turning this down. Okay, there we go. Got everything up and running. So I'm just going to get right into it because, you know, who knows? Hey, Incense Shop, how are you doing? So let me know if that AC is an issue. Cat noises will most likely be an issue. I will also put that warning out there. So I'm going to go right into the haul because I don't know if or when other people are going to show up. Let me try and put this here. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. So I have posted a couple of things on Let Go lately, unsuccessfully, I might add. And I've also started messing around with like kind of searching through things on there just for fun. People talk about sourcing things through local apps all the time. I never really use that. But I did come across an ad that talked about 400 pieces of clothing for $100. And it said that they were 60s to 70s clothing. So that sounds good to me. There was one very bad photo. The same person had another ad that also was like not a great photo. And come to think of it, I don't actually know if the two items that I saw in the ads are even in this pile, but that's neither here nor there. So it took a little while for the guy and I to connect, and then he connected me to his wife. She told me the clothes were all 80s and until present. I decided to just go ahead. You know, if it was 400 items of clothing for $100, you know, worst case scenario, I get 5 things out of there that I can sell for $20 each, and I'm good. I knew going in that I was going to be getting pieces that I was not going to want. I assumed that that would be the case. And I also wanted to respect that sort of bulk buy for a low price type of situation. I did tell the guy at some point that I resold clothing. He told me his wife was sentimental about some of the pieces because they were her mother's. And so, you know, he seemed fine with that. So I went and picked everything up yesterday. I have not really looked through this at all. She had everything out on a rack, and I sort of just glancing saw like a couple of pieces that I thought were good. The other things that I saw looked like at least promising. So I just paid her the money and got out of there. She was very nice. We didn't really chat a whole lot. So I'm going to be examining some of these. As I was taking them out of my car, I did notice that some of them look like they have discoloration. I think that maybe they were stored in an attic or something with probably nothing protecting them. So I do think there are pieces in here that I'm not going to be able to use at all. Nothing's been washed. I don't really even know what's in here. So we are going to get right into it. I did have 1 or 2 pieces that are super awesome right on top, so we can get into those. This is one of the first things. So I pulled this out of the pile once I got it in the house because look at the bumblebees. They're so cute. It won't focus nicely. Anyway, bumblebees. And what's really cool about this top is it's totally open like a cape, and it's got these ties. So you're going to tie it together, and it's got these big wing sleeves, which is so freaking cool. I love this. It's completely polyester, which I don't know how people wore this shit and didn't sweat their ass off. I am 45 years old, going through perimenopause. Sorry if that's too much information. And I've started having occasional hot flashes, but I also can't tolerate the heat as well as I used to be able to. And every time I'm sitting around in like a cotton t-shirt sweating to death, I don't understand how people were wearing these things. But anyway, this is adorable. So that's number 1. It does have a stain here. I don't know how much close-up I'll be able to do with you guys because it seems like the lighting is good for further back. Yeah, so there's some discoloration. It looks almost like a sort of rust stain. So I'll just stick this in regular wash as I go through these. Yeah. Okay, so that piece I was happy about. This is the second piece that I am also happy about, and it's kind of similar actually. So this is one that I saw when I was going through her stuff that I got a little bit excited about. I kind of thought it was embroidery. I mean, this is how not closely I was looking at things. I thought it was some embroidery, and it's not. It's printed on here, but it's a really cute little design, like a little ethnic woman with some pretty flowery things. This also feels like some sort of synthetic blend. This is like another keepy thing, but it does have sewing here, so there's sort of more defined armholes. This is just some random piece of trim that was not attached, or I can make it into a bow. I don't know, whatever. But this is really cute. I haven't noticed discolorations or anything on this, no holes. I'll just stick it in regular wash and see what happens with it. So that's two pieces that I'm happy about out of 400. I don't know that there's 400 here. We'll see. This is a piece that I probably am not even going to try to salvage it all. I'm not sure yet. So this is just a polyester V-neck top. A lot of these clothes she said that her mother wore to work. I don't think it's not. What I also might try to do, I have, so if you're new or don't remember because you don't retain all of the facts of my life, I don't know why, I sell on Etsy and eBay primarily. I've started doing decently on Poshmark, and I had my first sale on Depop yesterday. So I have a Mercari account. I haven't started using it. What I might do with some of these pieces that are unattractive but not damaged is lot them up and sell them on one of the Depop, Poshmark, or Mercari sites. So we'll see. So this looks like it's undamaged, but it's polyester and boring. But that's okay. All right. This next one is similar, but this is like, I think it's just cotton. And it's like pretty, I don't know if you can see that. So there's like this big watermark going up the front here. It's so bright. But I don't know if that's going to come out, and it actually shows up more when I have the light from behind it. It's a little grimy, but it's not terrible. And if it might be a cotton poly blend. If it's just cotton, it might be salvageable, but this would be something that I would also stick into a lot rather than try to list individually. What the heck is that? Oh, got like little, well, that almost makes it more interesting than it was. Oh, there we go. Okay, whatever, I'll play with that. So does need washing, obviously. We'll see what happens with that. One of the reasons that I did not examine this stuff very much, green top, same as the yellow, also has some water damage that I don't know that you can see, but it's down here, may or may not come out. These look handmade. One of the reasons I didn't really examine these very well was because it was a little dark in her house, and I didn't purposely not examine them. I just wasn't thinking. And I think that I really would love to get into doing private buying appointments. Now, I kind of called this a private buying appointment. I don't know that I would really count it as one because it was an ad that I responded to. What I would ideally like to get into doing is putting out requests for buying things. So I'd love to go to somebody's attic and take all the stuff out of their attic. And I think that that's all going to be part of it, is that, you know, hi from Baltimore. Oh, Tommy Lee Jones. Hi. T. Lee Jones. I'm assuming Tommy. We're going to call you Tommy. Hi. Thank you for joining. I think that in doing any private buying appointment, I would be prepared to take things that I didn't necessarily want, because I think the incentive for somebody to sell you things at a lower price, A, they don't have to deal with it, but B, they don't have to deal with any of the other stuff either, right? So, so I went there. Her house was a little bit dark, and I didn't think about that at the time. So I just kind of glanced quickly, saw there was some decent stuff, and I did not really consider the fact that a lot of these pieces could, I mean, for all I knew, they could all be damaged. It just didn't cross my mind. And so that's mistake number one. This is just a plain Nautica shirt, probably a men's shirt. I don't remember enough which side buttons, whatever, but it's very boring to me. I will probably maybe sell this in a lot. The other alternative is that if I don't want some of these things and they're not, you know, they're still salvageable, I'll just donate them to my Salvation Army. Okay, there were a couple of suits in there, right? So this is one, not my jam, not my selling jam. But if there were enough decent suits, that's another lot that I could potentially do. And because these are all going to be about the same size, he'd advertise them as, I think, from sizes 8 to 12, and with the difference in decades there, so far it's looking like a little 70s to 80s to me. You know, that could account for difference in sizing. So I'll at least make sure that it's lotted up with appropriate size considerations. Let's see. Oh, people call you, oh, hi, Tracy. Sorry, I'm behind on comments because my phone is turned sideways, so they're hard to see. And I am behind on comments, so, all right. So this is the suit, which is something that I would not pick up if it was in a thrift store. It's not a, you know, piece that I would be drawn to ever. But everything looks to be relatively intact. I'm going to leave this on the hanger because I don't know what I'm going to do with these suits. There's just a few suits, and I don't know that I'm going to want to bother getting them dry cleaned. This one just kind of smells musty. When I was loading the clothes into the car, I thought I smelled a hint of cigarette smoke. I don't have a great sense of smell. It was not overwhelming, and it didn't smell like cigarette smoke when I opened the car this morning. But I don't know. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. If I don't get them dry cleaned, which I'm not going to want to do, especially suits, then, you know, the lot pricing will reflect that. So, all right, here's another piece. This seems to be another suit. This is Adriana Papel, which you know, you guys probably know what that looks like. Some of her pieces are neat. You know, she makes a lot of the beaded things, which are cool. This is, I wouldn't pick this up if it was in a thrift store, but I may try and sell this individually on Bosch, or I don't know, whatever, something. I'm not very experienced with Depop, but I get the impression that it's a little edgier, so I don't know how this would go over. But also, the 80s stuff is in, and I don't find the majority of that appealing, but I'm not 20, so I don't have the same sense of style. They may ironically appreciate this, I don't know. This is marked size 6, so it's silk. So, you know, worth, even maybe on eBay, depending on what it's worth. And this then, silk, Adriana Papel. If I was sticking it on eBay, I probably would get this dry cleaned. So we'll see how that goes. This is another suit looking thing. It's kind of not bad, actually. The label's been cut out. It is marked as being silk. Label's cut out on both pieces. Not terrible. A little share from Clueless, right? Sort of, almost. So, and I'm not initially seeing any damage. These are also pretty patterned pieces. So I'm going to have to examine them a bit more closely, which I don't want to do with you guys here because that's not fun. But this isn't terrible, so that's kind of cute. I'm not really going over prices because A, I didn't think to do that right now. And B, this is not stuff that I'm necessarily familiar with, so I wouldn't know. The first two tops, like those very butterfly sleeve peasant tops, assuming that they wash up well and are in decent condition, I would probably list the bumblebees at like 30 bucks and the peasanty thing, only like 35. Depends. The fact that they're polyester-y lowers the cost for me because let's wear that. So hot, but they're cute. All right, this is Lois Snyder Danny Max. I've never seen nor heard of this brand. That does not mean anything. This is also the suit, rayon and acetate. So it's got that slubbed silk look, but apparently that is not what it is. Yeah, but it's not terrible. Again, not my thing, but I would probably list this individually somewhere. And these suits, without looking it up, like maybe they're a surprise, you know, $100 item. but I would probably list them between like 30 and 40 bucks. I'm going to guess. I don't typically sell suits. I don't sell those styles, so we'll see. But just I paid for them already and to help me get some money's worth. So this is another suit that's, let's see, Liz Claiborne. So this is pretty basic, and this will probably be a little bit easier of a sell on eBay because it is a basic piece. It's got some hangers a little weird, so it's making it look much more shoulder paddy than it is. But I think it's just like regular suits shoulder pads. I don't think that they're crazy 80s shoulder pads. And, you know, it's a basic, I think it's black. Triacetate, whatever the heck that is. So, and bonus points, I'll sell this hanger. People like the old wooden hangers. Mostly I sell I've been selling these on Etsy decently without this part, just the wooden part, for like, I do like $7 for 2. I did a lot of like 20-ish hangers for like 20 or 25 bucks recently, so that was good. I find them in thrift stores if they're cheap enough and you sell them in bulk. They're, you know, and they're relatively easy sellers, and I can just keep copying the listing and change a couple details, and it's cool. Anyway, suit seems to be in decent condition, so that's nice. This is an interesting little top. The brand is Eeny Meeny. I've never heard of that. It's probably like this might be 90s. I don't know. This is one of those things that could have been made yesterday, but for just a demographic that I don't normally sell to. It does look like it's got a little discoloration. I don't see a content tag, but it feels polyester. It's not a terrible print. I mean, those are cute little, they're fish, I guess, those Japanese fighting fish that I can't remember the actual name of. So neat colors, not a terrible print. Whatever, we'll see. Do something with it. This one's kind of cute. So, and there might be, I know there's a peasant skirt in here somewhere. I don't know if it matches this or not. It might. So this is Buyer of California, and I'm going to guess that this is probably a more 70s piece. It also feels a little polyester to me, and it's somewhat sheer. It like feels grimy, but it doesn't look stained. Would you like to actually see the shirt? Would that be fun for you? Okay. So there it is. Oh, there's comments. Sorry, I'm terrible. So I think that this should wash up decently, especially if it's polyester. I feel like polyester is so synthetic that dirt just falls off of it when you stick it in hot water. No washing instructions, no content tag, no size tag, just the brand, which is fine. So I actually kind of think that that's cute. And this could go on Poshmark or Etsy is probably where I'd put it, maybe Depop, and for somewhere between 15 and 25 bucks. Let me read some comments and drink some Siamese fish and betta. I thought betta fish, and then I thought that I was confusing things. So, and Siamese. Yeah, is that what I said? Japanese fighting fish and Siamese. So, yeah. This stuff, if you guys like coffee, Cafe Bustelo. I only find these in one grocery store near me, and they're like $1.70 each. But for some reason, these give me so much more energy than actual coffee that I make at home. I don't know why. And they're yummy. And they're Cafe Bustelo. So. And they have two kinds. This one's mocha, and they have a regular plain one, which also still tastes good. They're both sweetened, not artificially. This is a plain hanger that I managed to pick up. I don't care. I don't know what to do with the hangers. She told me I could take them. Don't really want them, but I also was not going to burden her with that. My Salvation Army guy will take them. I don't know if he cares. I suppose I could sell them. I could give them away. Anyway. They are mostly like purple, pink, and white. So, you know. This is another Liz Claiborne piece. It's silk, so I guess I'll have to try and sell it. Maybe in a lot. Does not look damaged. So this is good because there were, when I first pulled pieces out of the car, there were actually quite a few that looked like they had some not great discolorations on them. There's a suit that had like a lot of discoloration. There's a suit that has a tear in it. So far I'm doing a little bit better than I thought I would do. Let's see. And that's going to be an issue for me when I start doing any kind of buying appointments like that, is that I don't want to say I'm too nice because I hate to say that. It makes me sound like, yes, too nice. I'm a fucking sucker is what it is, and I don't like to be confrontational, and I perceive everything as being confrontational. Okay, you can't really see how cute this is. This is another, oh my, it's 2 pieces. Okay, so this is a really awesome piece that's making me excited about it. I interrupted myself, but I'll go back to that in a minute. So this is a really pretty sheer, oh, I hate that the lighting is not working out for this. It's a sheer 2-piece thing. It's got this camisole top, super cute, little ties. Feels like this was sitting in a bucket of dirty water for 3 years, but that should wash out. And then it's got this little thing. This is so cute. I'm very excited about it. Other than the fact that it's like just nasty, it's consistently nasty, so I think that this should wash up nicely. I think with a lot of these pieces, while I feel like I could just toss this in a washing machine, they're so fucking disgusting that I think I will probably do some sort of, even if I just rinse it out in the tub under running water before I bring it to the laundromat, that's going to help a lot. I know that, as you may or may not know, I have cats. And in the past, when I've had cats that had any kind of issue, they pee on something, which, by the way, you're one of those people who hates cats. They don't just randomly run around peeing on shit, okay? Like, if you take them to the vet and they're in a carrier and they're terrified, they might pee in the carrier. Or if they're sick or old or rescues that you just brought into your head, whatever, right? But if they pee on something, I find that it works much better if you are washing the pee out of the item before you put it through the washing machine. Otherwise, you're just washing your stuff in pee water. It doesn't make any sense. So, applies here as well. Wash all the gross dirt out first, rinse it out even, and then you're going to be in a much better position when you go to actually wash the items. I'm going to tie this from the hanger. This is really cute. This little set, I would probably list on Etsy because it's so fucking cute. Etsy's my favorite platform. Love it the mostest. And I would probably do this, I don't know. I'm like conservatively saying $30 to $40. I feel like I would want to put it higher, but I don't know if I would. So, all right, here is another, not quite peasant, but sort of try it or try one of those awesome 70s tags. So I don't know if you can see that because I can't see what I'm showing you. It's a calico, very like Little House on the Prairie with nice little ribbon. Also looks sort of consistently grimy, but no big stains. So this is working out a little bit better than I thought. I was concerned when the wife had told me that there were 80s and later pieces because the 60s to 70s I really like. The stuff that's from a little bit later I wasn't super excited about, but I know that 80s sells well and 90s sell well. Those are just a little bit harder for me to pick up because that was my time that I lived through, and I didn't even really like the stuff when I was living through it. So I look at that and just go, oh, that's just ugly. But I guess that's what everybody does with their generation of stuff. So anyway, those are some exciting pieces. This is boring. The tag is fucking adorable. Maybe I can just sell it. I'll just show a picture of the tag and somebody will buy it, right? Don't you hate that when you're thrift shopping and you see a tag that's amazing and then the item itself is like, but it's vintage and it's got a cute tag, so I want it. Look at that. It's got a little ducky on it. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Okay. So this is just a whatever stripy shirt. I mean, I'll sell it. It's not damaged. It's just nasty. So that's good. Here. Anybody wants any hangers, let me know. You can have them. Another buyer of California shirt. And this one's kind of cute. It's also got that sort of Little House on the Prairie vibe. I have to figure out a better lighting solution. I don't know. I do this all the time. I'm sorry. I'm going to see if I can adjust my lighting a little bit. I have these giant lights that I use for my photography. I don't know if that is going to help. Nope, did nothing. Sorry. But pastel, stripy things, a little sheer. This is also very like It's got that like yellowy discoloration that white and cream colored clothes get. The collar is probably supposed to be a little bit more white than it is, but it should wash up decently. So, and this actually has a content tag, polyester and cotton, so that's good. I would sell this individually as well, not for a whole lot of money, 20, 25 bucks maybe. All right, this one looks like it's not in good shape. So this piece, besides the fact that it looks like a fucking scrub top, I don't know if you guys can see it, sort of can, but it's very like a lot of rust coloring and it's pretty consistent. So I might, yeah, you can see how it's like striated with dirt. It might wash out, but I don't know if it will. A lot of these pieces, if they're questionable like this, besides rinsing them out in the tub first, I'll stick these all in one load. I'll wash them, and if they don't come clean, I will donate them. Probably. I never really know what to do with stuff like this. Like, do you just throw it out? I mean, this isn't even like worth salvaging from a vintage perspective, like, because there's some vintage pieces that even if they're kind of trashed, I feel like their history and they're beautiful and they should still be sort of preserved. But so I don't know. Anyway, I'll at least try and wash it and see what happens. But it might just get, oh, maybe I won't even try. I don't know. But that's okay. It's the one sort of terrible piece so far. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm waking up cats. So this is another silk piece, Galinda. Not an exciting blouse. It's like an aqua jacquard with a paisley pattern, mark size 10, very sort of boxy looking, basic. I've never been attracted to this type of stuff for myself ever. It seems to be missing a button, but other than that, it's okay. There is a little discoloration here on the front that I'm sure you probably can't really see, but I don't know what to do with this. So these pieces, like this is dry cleaning recommended. So I'm going to wash it because I wash just about everything, and we'll see what happens with that. That would be a lotted up piece, most likely. Okay. More, I don't know what this is. This is like a reversible scrub top. It might be homemade, handmade, whatever. There's no tags that I can see. It's not super grimy. Oh, it's got discoloration on the inside for sure. Although I can't tell if it's pit stains or not. Oh, might be. It's weird. It's like, yeah, I think it's pit stains. That might just get lost. I don't know, maybe I'll wash it, see what happens. If it washed up okay, this would be a piece thrown in with a lot of stuff. Like, okay, this does not look good either. Probably so. Yeah, so this is silk, Hannah Sung, which I've never heard of. But the problem with that is that the back of this, so it's all that light, that's not the lighting, that's light spots. And they don't look like dirt, they look like it's bleachy somehow. So I will probably just get rid of this. Like, this is something I don't see a reason why somebody would want to purchase this in a lot. And I feel like donating it to the Salvation Army just means that I'm giving them garbage to throw away. You know? So I don't know. If somebody else has feedback about that and feels differently, let me know. But because there's times that people are like, nobody wants this junk. And I'm like, that's amazing. What are you doing? You know, so I try not to just indiscriminately toss things because I don't like them. But I don't know that I see value in that for anybody else. This is kind of cute. So this is probably, all right, so this is a little cap sleevey kind of blouse. This, I'm going to put this in the 70s, I think. This is the front. It's got that cute little split mandarin collar type of thing. I'm saying 70s, maybe it's 80s. I don't know. Like, I feel like this was a very 50s, 60s style of back buttons, you know, sleeveless, but this doesn't strike me as 50s or 60s. I don't think there's a tag. Oh, there is a tag. Some of these tags, this is one of those tags that I'm not sure. I want to say probably 70s. So if you guys have insight, it says made in India, 100% cotton. There is an RN number, so there are washing instructions. So probably 70s. And there's some darkness, but You can't see that because my lighting is not set up properly. I don't know how to do that yet. I'll figure that out one day. But that's cute. Gross and dirty, but it's cute. So. And for the record, on the like supremely off chance that the people that I bought this from ever see this video, I'm not judging you when I say they're gross and dirty. I feel like they were probably in your attic or your basement or whatever. I would not expect them to really be a whole lot different than that, even if they were encased in something. It's just the nature of attics and basements. Okay. What is this? This looks a little bit like it might be cute. It is kind of cute. Oh, okay. So this little ruffly blouse. This might be an individual listed type of thing, as was this. I would list this by itself, assuming it cleans up. What am I talking about? That's fine. This is really cute. So it's got the little sort of Asian style, only 3 buttons, ruffly sleeves, which are cute. It does have like a dust line up here on the shoulder. I don't know if you can see that very well. This out. Just because it's been hanging on a hanger since like the dawn of time, and so it's hard to tell if that's just dust. You guys can't even really see it. Whatever, it's there. It's hard to tell if it's just dust or if that's faded. So I'll wash that up and see what happens. It does have a cute little tag. I'm gonna say this is called Pinot Noir, 100% cotton, made in India. So I feel like those have got to be sort of 70s-ish things. That was cool. Cute tag. I like that. Excited. So there's some money being made in here, because even if I'm selling each one of these items, anything that's been salvageable so far, if I sold it for $15, I think we're coming out at least breaking even so far. And I've got a massive fucking pile behind me. So if you are bored, feel free to come back to this later. It's going to be long because I've talked too much and there's a lot of stuff. This is Michael Taylor. Don't know what that is. Never heard of it. Doesn't matter. It's like a batik style print. Just flowers, really. And the front shirt tail is a little bit longer than the back, so I'm assuming it's meant to be worn untucked. It is 100% rayon, and it says dry clean only, but I'm going to wash it because I am a rebel. I'm a cheap rebel. Shoulder pads, but those can come out if they don't wash decently, but they seem like that gross foam that's all one piece. We'll see what happens. So it's not bad. It doesn't look like it's stained. I don't see any holes. I'm going to examine things a little bit more closely before I bother washing them, because if they do have big holes or something in them, I'm not going to bother going to the laundromat and paying money to wash them. So I try to hold them up to the light to see if there are holes. What almost always happens is that I, in the thrift store, look, see if there's holes. I don't see anything. I get home, I'm sticking it on a mannequin, I'm taking photos. If I don't see holes then, I usually end up seeing them once I've already like washed it and done everything. I'm trying to bag it up to put it away, and that's when I find a fucking hole. So trying to be better about finding those in advance. And because I'm not in a thrift store, when I'm doing these, I will not really have an excuse. I feel a little like, not that I feel rushed in the thrift store, but I'm too excited to get back to shopping. All right, Metro Express has got to be 80s. Just from the tag, 100% silk. Unattractive. This is not an attractive shirt, so this would either go in a lot. Doesn't look damaged. I'm sure it's dry clean only. Oh, machine wash or hand wash. Cool, because that's what's going to happen. Hand wash. There is the tag, in case you were dying of curiosity. I think this is hideous, but whatever. I'll list it on something. I know that people have talked about Poshmark being like, I tend to think of Poshmark as very like 20-something, you know, young crowd. I know that there's been a lot of people who have success with items that are targeted to an older demographic and sometimes a more dowdy demographic. So that may do well on there. It's also not sort of my vibe, so I don't know. Whatever, I don't know. I don't worry about having a vibe on eBay too much, but usually I'm buying stuff that I like, whether it's something that I like because I like it or because I think it's quirky, whatever. There's kind of a cohesive look despite myself. I don't really go for that, but this might ruin all of that. So I don't know. Maybe these could be my Mercari pieces. Everything that's ugly will go on Mercari. Sorry, Mercari. I just don't have any shops on you yet. This feels like silk. Studio silk, probably silk, 100% silk. Ironically, this still has a tag on it. I can't tell, whatever, if that's an actual, who knows, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's gotta be washed, whether it's got tags or not. So it's machine washable. It's okay. It's nothing that I would ever pick up, but it's probably an interesting print for somebody. And it doesn't look damaged, so either a lot or some made-up website that I don't yet have to sell ugly things. Another silk shirt with tags from Bradley's. If you are in, do they have Bradley's anymore? They don't have them near me at all. Wash it. It's silk. So in this case, I'm going to save the tag just because it's funny because it's from Bradley's, but I still need to wash it because, yeah, it smells like attic basement stuff. But, you know, interesting enough. Boots, 80s tag there. New concepts. So we're still doing okay profit-wise. You know, that's, oh, this looks fun. This is kind of cute. Oh, this is cute. And this is actually a brand I see a decent amount of the time, and I don't usually like this stuff I see. So, all right, so this is filthy, and maybe not in a salvageable way, but I'll see. All right, so I don't know why I took the hanger out already. Oh, this is really filthy. Okay, so it's cute. It's a little like cross between a secretary blouse and a prairie blouse, right? It's made by Chows. I think that's how you say it, Chows. Made in Hong Kong. I want to say 70s on this, but I don't see washing instructions, which means they could have been taken out. I know that washing instruction tags were mandatory, I believe, starting in the early 70s. So like maybe like 74. So that's why I say maybe 60s, but I am not 100% certain. Everything is intact on this, but it's really grimy, and yeah, you can't really see the extent of it, but like there's a very dark area sort of in the center here. The lace on the collar is very dark. The sleeves have, the shoulders rather, have dark lines from where they were hanging. I will try and wash this. We also got some pit stain action going on, but I really like this top. So this one, because I think it's really cute, even though it's pretty damaged, I would try washing it. I would try like the whole OxyClean stuff. I typically tend to go in steps with stuff that's a little more questionable as far as how delicate it is. I got some pieces from an estate sale recently where a lot of the tops, I think, are like Edwardian period. They're like these very, very thin, gauzy cotton tops that almost like look like they're in too good of a shape to be Edwardian, but they look older than like a 50s thing. They've got the buttons down the back. They're cute, but they're dirty. So I've been soaking them just in plain water first. And then I add a little bit of detergent and borax to the water. And then, because you know when you wash something that's vintage and really old and gross, like you put it in the water and it's like brown almost instantly. So especially when that's not happening and the item has, has like stains or dirt, that's when I've been adding the borax on the second bout. And after that, I usually do maybe like 2 days of that. Saying usually, like this is the first time I've done anything this extensively. I've done like 3 rounds of this with a couple pieces. And then if that still hasn't worked and the item still feels like solidly intact, I'll add a little bit of OxyClean. I don't know really, I hear things on both sides of the OxyClean debate that it's fantastic and that it damages stuff. I have only ever had OxyClean damage 2 things. One was when I used the spray, so it's like OxyClean liquid that you spray on. And to be fair, I left it on the thing. It was like 100% cotton item, but I left it on the item, like I sprayed it and then just left it for days. And then I washed it and it just had holes all throughout it. The second thing was a skirt that is a white skirt with red and green embroidered roses. And there was one point where there was color bleed from the red into the white, but then I was able to OxyClean it back, and now it's okay. So those are my only two bad experiences. But people say that it damages fabric, which might be true. This, I would go through all those steps trying to get it clean. If it does not get clean, I recently bought some dye, and I'm thinking about trying to dye a couple of things. And so this might be a candidate for that because I really like the style of it. And if it doesn't clean up well, maybe it will look really nice in a hot pink color. So here is another really cute little prairie secretary type blouse. This one's also pretty dingy, but not as bad as that other one. That other one looks like body oils dingy, like the set in sort of body oil. This just looks like I've been sitting in an attic dingy. Guess what brand it is? I bet you know. Gunnies. So that's exciting, which makes me want it to clean up nicely even more. Very cute. I think that this has promise. And I would put this on Poshmark or Etsy. And I want to say for between like 30 and 40 bucks. So that's exciting. I like that. It looks like it's in good shape. No holes. It's cute. Gunny sacks. Gorgeous gunnies. I don't really know the difference. Might make me a bad vintage seller. Ooh, I like this too. These are surprise pieces to me. I didn't really know they were in here. So this is all black, as you can tell. Probably a poly cotton. I don't see tags in here. Oh, there's some in the seam. So, you know, it's got lace. It's got this lace down the front. It looks, I mean, it's dusty, but other than having clumps of dust on it, seems to be in good shape. And no brand tag that I can see. Polyester and rayon. There is an RN number, so I'll look that up to see if it's a brand, but even if it's not, it doesn't really matter. It's got a little tiny keyhole back with the buttons at the neck. So that's cute. I like that. And that'll be another sort of Etsy Posh, maybe Depop. I only have like 12 items on Depop, one of which sold yesterday, my first Depop sale ever. So I have to build that up. I just don't know really what I'm doing with it and whatever. This is neat. So I have to remember to put more things on there. So this is like, I don't know what kind of fabric it is. So this is just a black, like turtlenecky, cowl necky kind of thing. It's got this, it's not sitting on the hanger nicely, but it looks like it's going to have this nice drape here when it's worn. It's got a back zipper, and I don't know, it's like a stretchy type of material, almost like that really slinky stuff, but not quite that heavy. There's no tag. Oh, there's a tag. Hold on. Let's see. I don't know how to describe this fabric. Oh, so this is probably 60s or 70s. There's no content. There's a tag that says hand wash. There's no brand. So it's got that lot tag thing, right? And then there's the hand wash tag. And that seems to be all that there is. But this is kind of cute. And I probably wouldn't pick it up today in a thrift store. This is something I would have picked up like 2 or 3 years ago because it's vintage, period. And I wasn't accustomed to picking up vintage pieces at that point. But it's decent enough, you know, whatever. I don't dislike it. It's got some like striations here where the folds were. Let's see. So I don't know if that's like a fade from like sun discoloration or something similar. But anyway, I tend to want things that are a little bit more flashy, either lace or embroidery or patterns or colors or something weird. That one's got an interesting neckline, but I don't know that I would pick it up, but I like it. This is another maybe 70s, maybe 80s. John Anthony for Frederick's Sport. It's also silk. And these are like a leafy pattern. It seems to be in decent condition. So that's cool. Not exciting. Got that little tuxedo type collar. That's kind of cute. I'll stick this either in a lot. There's enough silk work blouses here that I could make up a decent lot of that. And that could go even on eBay at that point if I've got a lot of that many things. Yeah, dry clean only. So we'll see what happens with that. The only concern with this and the dry cleaning is that the way that the pleats and the collar and whatnot are might need some care after washing to restore them, but it doesn't really look dingy or dirty, so that's good. Another sort of like boring silk thing. Josephine, made in Hong Kong. I'm gonna guess 70s or 80s. Feels like a polyester, like a satiny, silky polyester, but doesn't have a content tag. So whatever, but relatively good condition. I don't really see any big stains. I'd stick this in a lot. Also, it's got like little florally jacquard thing. Okay, you guys want to claw your own eyeballs out yet? All right, this is Evan Picone Petites polyester. It's kind of cute. It's got like the little Peter Pan collar, and this I assume is a bow that goes underneath the collar. It's like a miniature pussy bow type of thing. This is like a really pale, like pink, like a lavendery orchid pink. It does have some water stains on the shoulders, so I'll just throw this in the regular wash, and if it doesn't come out, then I will toss it or donate it, but it's not very exciting. There's a giant pile of hangers on the floor. All right, this is kind of nifty-ish. Another Evan Picone, not petites. It's got some grime on it, on the collar especially. That's the, oh my God. That's the tag that you can't really see because I can't show it to you properly. But it's okay. It's gray. I think it's silk. No, polyester. So it should be able to stick in the wash easily. But these weird, you know, I like the, no, I don't. I mean, I don't dislike, whatever. It looks like it's meant to be worn untucked. It looked almost like a pseudo peplum hem, except it's not tapered in enough at the waist to be cute. I thought initially it was, but it's not. So, you know, whatever, it's fine. A lotted up workwear piece for somebody who wants to wear this stuff. This could be stuff, honestly, that like 20-year-olds would. Oh, it's got a big stain on the sleeve, actually. So, you can see that. I don't know if you care. You're like, oh my God, Laura, you didn't show us a stain. Hurry up. All right. Gloria Vanderbilt. 100% polyester. A lot of these things. This, I'm guessing, goes around the waist on this piece. Cowl neck, pullover style, whoop-de-doo, disgusting, like fluorescent mustard color, if that can even be a thing. It's like a sunflower yellow. I'm not a fan of yellows in general. Oh, this is not terrible. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's like Impressions of California. Makes it a little quirky. A little bow there. It doesn't seem super stained or anything. So far, there's not too many pieces that I totally just have to discard, which is good. This. San Francisco Shirt Works. 100% polyester. Pussy bow, just a plain cream-colored shirt. Overall, it looks okay. No super big watermarks or discolorations. There's a weird little, I think they're pulls. I don't know if they're pulls or more like a weird pilling. So I might be able to sort of, whatever, sweater shape some of that off. Gotta be washed. My hands are, it's like black shit on my hands right now. Lloyd Williams. I don't know who Lloyd Williams is. So this is dirty, like that brownish grime again. Let's see, machine wash. I can't read what the content is. Whatever, it's going to get thrown in the water. It might not make it because there's a pretty consistent like brown tinge. So if it doesn't come out in the wash, it's just going to get donated because, not donated, tossed because Who's gonna want this? If it's dirty and grungy looking, nobody cares. Sorry, Lloyd. This is interesting. Singery. Can you see that? Kind of. All right. This is also silk, so that's nice. Made in Korea. It's interesting. Very small collar, V-neck, whatever. So dry clean only, but it's not getting dry cleaned. It looks to be in decent condition, so I'll wash it and see how it comes out. Stick it in a lot, most likely. This is a little bit more interesting. Still not something I would pick up, but it's got a little bit of personality to it. So interesting print. It's got, this whatever collar. It's got this pleated shit going on up here. And in the back, the collar buttons in the back with a little bit of keyhole. It is polyester. The sleeves are not bad. So the sleeves have like some gathered effect with the buttons. They're not quite balloon sleeves, but they're going to be a little bit more voluminous than a normal sleeve. So this might make it to its own listing. It's not going to be expensive, but it's okay. Yes, not in bad shape. This one smells a little bit more smoky. And I haven't really had to deal with cigarette smoke much because the very few things I've had that definitely had a strong cigarette smell were things that I didn't bother dealing with and redonated. So thank you, Tommy Tracy Lee Jones says that I'm very, very knowledgeable. Thank you. I'm good at doing people. I'm trying to pick things up and learn things. So I've been selling stuff online now for like 5 years, not all full-time for maybe 2 years. But it's fun. I like it. I like it, and it's interesting, and so I learn things because I like it. So this is another Chouse made in Hong Kong. It just has the brand tag. I don't see anything else. And the size, of course. Oh no, there it is. All right, it's there. So very small. It's a weird tag. 100% polyester. Machine wash, obviously. It's not super dirty, so that's good. It's a little bit 80s looking, which I think is not bad. It's not a terrible blouse. So may also get its own listing. The sleeves look kind of like a little ruffle cuff, a little bit voluminous. So that's good. It's so funny, my perception of younger people now. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is something like a 20-year-old can wear to the office. Do 20-year-olds work in offices? I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. Right, Anne Klein. I see a decent amount of Anne Klein pieces with that lion head label, but I don't, okay. It seems to be a detachable collar, I'm guessing. I can't imagine that would be a headband. Oh, look, okay, so that's cute. So it's got that little, like a V shape, so I'm assuming that does that. That's interesting. And then there's the rest of the blouse. Doesn't look overly grimy. Some small holes, but whatever. Shoulder pads. I don't know how Anne Klein does. It's never interesting enough for me to pick up. I like the label, but I never really care too much about the item itself that it's on. And I've never bothered looking it up. This is a cute label. It's got that like Art Deco-y look, so probably 80s. Houndstoothy, feels like polyester. David Hayes is the brand. Cute little tag. It's grimy around the neck. It's got one more. That's cute. That's probably for the neck as well. I'm going to guess under the collar. Whatever. Okay. Not terrible condition. Maybe laddered up. Maybe not. I don't know. So far, I'm impressed with how many things are not destroyed. Because the couple of things I saw. Oh, wait. Did I know it? Yes, I know what that is. Okay. Sort of know what that is. It's cute. Wait till you see it. Another blouse with one of these guys. This is the Villager, which I've actually seen tags from before. It's never stuff that I'm super excited about picking up. This is another piece that I would throw into a lot of clothing if I don't just donate it. I am not good. Like, I've made purchases in the past that I then later say, why did I buy this? And I've struggled a lot back and forth with, should I just donate it? Should I just suck it up and list it for a low price? And more often than not, I go towards donate because I don't want to deal with it. And so it sits longer and it's in my way and it makes me less productive because I get overwhelmed by the mess, right? But in this case, if this is something that I'm going to want to do on a consistent basis, you know, buying lots of clothing from private individuals, I would do that in hopes of getting really good pieces, but also knowing that I'm going to have to take pieces that I don't really want to deal with. So I don't think that it's unwise to try and get money out of as many pieces as possible, but I want to balance out between how much work do I have to put into it versus how much profit am I getting, right? So, you know, I'm saying I'll lot these up. It's not something I've typically done before. We'll see. The other thing with lotting things up is that I don't usually have a large number of similar type items that I would put into a lot. So I'd have to kind of save them until I have enough that I felt like I wanted to lot up. And this is an instance where obviously I've got a large number of similar items that would be easy to do that with. So we'll see if I actually get around to doing it. I'm like always with these, I'm going to do this. And then I just talk about it. That doesn't really happen. So, you know, I like to try and focus on the things that I want to make happen versus the things that I feel like, well, it's a good idea. Seems wise. This is polyester. Marissa Christina. Boring. It's fine. It's okay. Not exciting. Lotted or donated because I don't care about it at all. A lot of fucking hangers. Lots. All right. What is it? Like, there's all these weird color situations going on here. So there's this. This has a, I don't know what is supposed to be happening here. So, all right. This is a blouse. You see, this looks like that's how that's supposed to be, right? But it's got like a safety pin holding the two back ends together. I think that if I unhooked the safety pin, these would fall. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe they're supposed to be like a waterfall effect. Oh, definitely better. Holy shit. Okay. Still not like the most amazing blouse ever, but that's definitely cuter. Especially in a really like ironic, like 20-year-old person kind of way. Like the roses. This is Gianna, 100% polyester. So there's a store that I like to shop in Manhattan, and it's a vintage thrift store. So everything they sell, almost everything, is vintage. A lot of 70s, 80s, 90s. More so 80s and 90s these days, but it's got a decent amount of 70s and 60s stuff. I will occasionally find like a 40s, 50s piece. But when I go to this store, especially the one they have a lot in Brooklyn. When I go to any of them, really, there's these fucking young kids there. And they're all like, oh my God. So I was like with Joey, and, you know, he said that he was going to go out and then he didn't call me. And like, I don't even know. Like, oh my God, that's so cute. You're going to get that, right? You should get that. It's crazy. Crazy. It makes me fucking nuts to be around that because A, it makes me nuts, and B, I'm like 120 years old compared to these fucking 12-year-olds. This is Kate Hill, so more modern piece. It's like a thermally type of thing. I might not bother with that. I don't know. It's just an extra. Anyway, padded hanger though. It smells horrible, but it's in good shape. I don't know what to do with that. I'm not going to wash the padded hanger. This is 100% cotton. I see Kate Hill a lot, but I don't ever pick it up, so I don't know what to do with that. I'm sure somebody would buy it. Do I want to bother putting it up? Question. So this has a size tag, but I don't see anything else yet. Probably polyester. It's like a weird purpley camo kind of deal. I don't know. Lot. Stick it at a lot. Very large piles. Okay, this is another blouse. There's a lot of these. This is Victor Louis Paris. This might be nicer. All right, so the very controversial Nicole State talks about this a lot, as do probably other people, but I've heard it from her the most, and it does seem to be true. When you see a tag that's tacked on just on the corners, so the sewing is only on the corners, not seaming on the sides at all. Very frequently, it's a higher end tag. It's a higher end piece. So there's that. This is 100% silk, made in France. I've never heard of the brand before, but again, that does not mean anything. And just because it's made in France and it's silk and it's got a fancy little tag also means nothing. Could still be useless, worthless, whatever. But it's in decent condition. I am still not going to dry clean it. I don't care what the tag looks like. But I'll wash it and see. That's a thing that I would look up the brand on just because the tag looks a little fancy and whatnot. And sometimes stuff like this has like some crazy following and people love it. So maybe it's worth 60 bucks. Probably not, but I'll at least look up that brand. This one's nice. This is another David Hayes, that Deco label. And I actually kind of, I mean, wouldn't pick this up, but I kind of like it. It's got a side bow, which is cool. It's got some pleating here. So that's a neat little work piece. Maybe it'll get its own listing. I don't know. Maybe what I'll do is take these pieces that maybe would get their own listing and lot those together as like the better lots. And then put the nasty scrub top looking things in a separate lot. This is like a, what do they call these? A popover. I hate that term, but it seems to mean that it buttons partway down and then the rest is not buttoned. And differing from a Henley in that it's not a t-shirt type of top, it's a fancy top. So it's a popover. I don't know why I hate that term so much, but I do. All right, this is one of the things that I saw while I was there. That I was like, ooh, that's really cool. I don't know what kind of condition it's in. I don't know if it's whatever, but it's nifty looking at first. Maybe this is a disaster. I don't know. Okay. This reeks. This stinks so bad. But look at this fucking thing. Look at this. All right, so this is the back. This is heavy. It seems to be actual leather. Probably some kind of souvenir piece is my guess. Let's see, there is a lining. There are 0 tags in this thing. This is something that I not only would have to have dry cleaned, but have to have leather cleaned. But this is something, so leather cleaning is difficult because it's like 30 bucks just to get it cleaned. But it's so fucking cool, right? It's really neat looking. All of that is like, you know, I don't know, embroidered on. I don't think it's glued on, but it's really cool. I think it is actually sewn. So I really like this a lot. I would do one of two things with this. I would sell it as is for a much lower price than I would want to get for it if it was in good condition, or I will have it cleaned and then sell it at a much higher price. That decision is going to be based on how much it looks like they're going for on Etsy, because that's probably where I would list it. I also want to find a spot where so what I try to do with these, it feels like it's leather, but if it's vinyl, that changes things a lot. So I usually try to find spots, so it's lined. I try to find a spot in the lining where it's coming up a little bit, and I try to work that up enough so I can see whether or not it's actually leather. I try not to snip it, but let's see. This also is like that Persian lamb type of stuff, which if that's also real, could make the cleaning even a little bit more complicated. So we'll see. I don't know. I really like it though. And worst case scenario, this gets sold as some like weirdo theater prop or something. I don't know. So super awesome though. I really like that piece. It smells terrible. Oh, okay. So Tracy, you're from Brooklyn. That's cool. So the place that I was talking about is L Train Vintage. I'm so far behind on the chat. Sorry, but I love L Train Vintage. I am a little bit less of a fan of some of its customers, but whatever. They're not harmful. They're just young, and I'm not young anymore. All right. So this is kind of cute. Not something I would pick up, but I like the sleeves. They're a little puffier, 3/4 length. That thing, it's very dingy. and a little bit like discolored brown dingy. So we'll have to see how it washes up. Buttons on the side of the tag. This is, oh, another Pinot Noir. So we'll see how that does. It's kind of cute. And that would be listed individually, probably on Posh or Depop. This looks like another boring piece, like that peacoat thing. This is a padded hanger. Apparently the boring modern pieces go on padded hangers. Rhapsody USA. It's velvet, but like it's just a blue velvet V-neck shirt. It's maybe a little bit older actually. Polyester. So, oh my God. Sure picked up a lot of cat hair. Rhapsody, but this tag is, you know, oh, probably 80s, 90s, whatever. I don't like it, but let's see what happens. What is this? This is very sort of attic dingy. Another of that I don't know how to pronounce that. Chouse. I don't know. I'm usually pretty decent with pronunciations, but I don't know what that is. This is 100% polyester, so I'll try and wash it, but I might not even try. There's like something that looks a little bit more like an actual stain that might not come out. And then there's the general discolorations that kind of look like sun fading. So this might just get, yeah, there's probably just going to get, this is absolutely going to get tossed. Sorry, Chess. It's just very, you can't see it because the lighting doesn't cooperate, but it's very discolored here. And I just don't see that that's going to come out. So, all right. This also has a lot of discoloration, but it's silk. I don't know if that helps me at all. It's just a gray silk shirt. But the back is discolored in a way that I think might be not just dirt. I think it's like a light, like faded or something. So I'll try and minimally try to wash it, see what happens. Another royal silk. This is brown. And unexciting, but doesn't seem to really have discoloration issues. So I'll wash it and toss it into a lot of stuff. Lots. All right. There is still, I think we've maybe gone through half of the stuff. If you need to go like pause this and take a nap and come back or run away. Boring shirt. Narducci. Feels like polyester. It is though. All right, so it is 70s or 80s. I can't remember when these tags started. It's the union tag, but the colored union tag versus the just black and white. I want to say these started being used in 74 and went through 95, but I might not be correct about that, but I think that's what it is because I tend to think of those as 80s. Size 10, so, you know, it does not show me a content, but I don't care. It feels like polyester. Whatever, I'll wash it. The fact that it has that tag does not make it any more appealing to me because it's still just a plain icky shirt. This is another one that's probably not going to survive the selection process because it's got a lot of that griminess. It's like a very pale, dusty pink with this floral print, which is, it's okay. Like it's not exciting, even if it was clean, but it smells smoky. I think we're gonna not put the effort into this at all. Might have been handmade. Look at the stitching. It's like sort of tacked there. There's no tags. I think it might have been handmade, but unfortunately, it's just not in a condition that's worth trying to deal with. Wow. Okay, this is, I want to just, all right, so this is very much not in accordance with the rest of this wardrobe. This is a Columbia fleece turtlenecky kind of thing. I don't ever pick up Columbia because I don't care, but people talk about it as being a good seller. So The problem I have with that is that a lot of the resellers I watch online tend to consider something as being a good piece to sell if it's selling for like 20 or 25 bucks. And not that that's bad, but if I don't like it to begin with, I don't want to waste my time for 20 bucks. If this sold for 50 bucks, I'd be like, oh, maybe I should pick it up. But for 20 bucks, I don't like it. I don't want to deal with it. I might, I don't know, whatever. This I'll at least donate though. Wash it and donate it. To me, when somebody says like, ooh, this is really good, you should pick it up, I want to be making like a minimum of a $20 profit. But that's like a $20 profit to me is sort of where I want my bread and butter to be. My bread and butter, as they say, is probably more like $15 profit, but I'm aiming for more 20. So I get excited about something when it's like a $30, $40, $50 profit. And I think that's easier to do when you're doing vintage clothing. I am lucky because I find a decent amount of high-end clothing because I live next to New York City. So this is, it's got a Lord & Taylor tag and made in the USA. Size 10, but it's just a white blouse. I don't know what the content is. It could, yeah, it doesn't matter. You guys don't care. Polyester and cotton. It's probably not going to clean up well. Okay, I've got that one pouring. What is this? This is another just basic, probably polyester, would go in a lot of clothing. So I don't think it even has tags. Oh, yes, it does. It has tags. It goes this way. Jones, New York. Older Jones, New York. That's what it was, yeah. In case. Buttons down the back. Has some mild shoulder pads. So I'll stick it in a lot, maybe. Oh, this is interesting. What is this? Might be, okay, so this is probably handmade. This is also like that sort of slinky-ish fabric. And it has a little bit of a cowl neck, and the inside it's like not sewn, so it's just that loose tucks in there. I don't see tags at all. I don't know, it's interesting. I'd stick it most likely in a lot. I can't tell if it has holes. I don't think so. Not my thing, but it's not terrible. A lot of these boring pieces. There are some more exciting pieces that are further down. So, you know, hopefully you're doing something like shipping or taxes or something while you are listening to this, just for background noise. This is polyester, another 80s-ish thing. Breckenridge. This is another tag that was sort of very lightly tacked on, just the four corners, but in this case, I think it probably does not mean much because this is not a super high quality production as far as its construction. So, you know, like this, the keyhole back, you know, like this is all like I feel like if this was a really high quality brand, you wouldn't see these unfinished edges. They would be really finished so that you wouldn't have to deal with any of those things. It'd be very clean. But whatever. Ooh, it's got some stains on the sleeve, so this might not make it, but I might try to wash it just to stick it in a lot. So this is interesting. This is Claiborne. I will definitely try to sell this because it's not something I would pick up at a thrift store, but it's interesting enough. Like it's something that I would look at and go, nah, but maybe I would have picked this up a couple years ago. I like the puffy sleeves. I like that it has a detail. I don't know that I like the detail. I like that it has some sort of detail. It's a very 80s Liz Claiborne. Polyester, size 8. It's sort of a cross between a prairie shirt and like a Western. There's those guys' Western shirts that have like, I don't know what they're called, but it's got like buttons and they're in like a sort of trapezoid shape or something. Not trapezoid, but whatever. cross between those. So it's a little grungy. Oh, more basic, boring. Blah, blah, blah. Lloyd Williams. I think we got rid of Lloyd's last item, but this one looks like it might be a little bit better shape. The colors are at least decent, right? Oh, geez. Giant effing stain on the front. Like, see, it's like that sort of rust-looking stain. I'm assuming you can see it there. So, I don't know if that'll come out. We'll see. Lloyd's not doing too well in these runs, is he? Okay, so this is interesting. Lachine Classic by Galinda Wang. It's 100% polyester. I feel like we saw another Galinda piece in here somewhere, but I could be making that up. Interesting color pattern. So it's like a black and white houndstooth with this very colorful paisley on top. So that's kind of interesting. Side tie pussy bow, floopy doofy. I don't know what you call these kind of colors. The floopy doofies. Probably not that. Let me see. Oh, hi, Dad and Sheila. Let me see. Oh, Tracy left New York City in '88. I'm sorry. So let's see. My dad and his wife are watching. If there's one of the stuff, let me know. Anyway, whatever. That I'll throw that. It's got big shoulder sleeves, so pads, shoulder pads. All right. What is this stuck on? Okay. Oh, the next one looks interesting. Not this one. The one after this one. I don't know. Let's see what direction this goes in. Okay, so this is this tag says Jennifer. I don't know what that is. It's a. All right, this is some sort of. Okay, so it seems to button down the back because that's where the tag, Jennifer tag is, makes up the back. But it's got the ties that are screwed in the back. So I don't know if they're supposed to wrap around and make another floofy doofy collar or what the situation is there. It's interesting. It's kind of sheer. It's really cool. It's like a sheer. I mean, it's not cool, but there was like a weird purple. I'm just seeing things through it. Anyway, it's sheer with these leafy kind of printy things on it. It's interesting. Be interesting for a lot of clothing that I sell some undetermined sites. Oh, there we go. More tag. It's hand wash, cold binder, 100% polyester. All right. This looks kind of interesting. Maybe nice piece too. I don't know. All right, maybe not. This is Easy Street of California. 100% polyester. Again, that's the tag. And it's kind of, so I like this. I didn't even notice this part before. I kind of like the print, right? It's like sort of Aztec-y. I am completely aware of the fact that I use the term Aztec for a very wide range of things that are not remotely Aztec because I'm terrible with that kind of shit. Any kind of like ethnic stuff, I have no idea. German, Scandinavian, same thing to me. Anything like Texas and southward, southwestern and Aztec to me. I'm not, even some like stuff from Alaska. No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an entitled white girl. I just don't know. And I don't even know how to figure out sometimes, honestly. All right, so there is really cute little darts here on the waist. So it makes the waist pull in, and I like this. So this is kind of a cute piece. Buttons down the back. I like it. Still wouldn't pick it up if I saw it alone, but I would look at it and go, oh, that's interesting, and then not take it. All right, this is maybe silk. It actually feels, it is. Oh, it's another Adriana Papel. Hey, another tagged item, but obviously this is a thrift store tag because it was priced at $24 and marked down to $12. It looks like a thrift store tag, you guys know. But it's nice and lightweight. It feels like silk, which is nice. as opposed to the stuff that's like, is this silk or polyester? You know, but it definitely feels like silk, and it's a decent whatever. Even if it says dry clean, I'm going to hand wash it, dry clean only. You know, it's got those little things in the sleeves to help them stay puffy. You guys haven't seen them before. I've gotten a few shirts with this kind of thing in them. So it's like this little, this one's not super stiff, but some of them have been a very stiff netting, and this was just like slightly stiff. I was going to try and name the fabric, but I don't know. Anyway, we're going to wash that and see how it goes. Maybe list it by itself. Another boring polyester blouse. Doesn't have any gigantic stains. Might go in a lot. Okay. This is kind of cute. I think it's a suit. Is this it? Yeah, I actually kind of like this. Don't know that I would pick it up in a thrift store, but it's kind of nifty. So it's like very purpley pink, stained glass looking jacquard pattern going on, and Crimmins for Umi Collections. I've not ever heard of that before, but that could be a thing. That's a thing, right? 100% silk. There is a brand that I learned recently. I think it's Diane Freis, F-R-E-I-S. I found a piece that was just a funky looking piece that I picked up, and it turns out that she's a little bit of a higher priced designer find from, I'm guessing, the 80s. And so this might be something like that. And I like it. It's neat. So what did I say this was made out of? 100% silk, dry clean only, not getting dry clean. Hi, Elvis. And it's got like super fancy plastic hanger with the little clippy guys. All right, so hi, come on up. And I like the waist on this jacket is nice. This one smells particularly smoky, but it's got sort of slightly balloon sleeves. And I like that waist. So, hi, Bubba. This is also sort of neat. I saw this piece from the back when I was at her house. So what I don't really like in the front, like I kind of don't like these appliques. They look like they're a little bit cheap. It does have a lot of discoloration that I don't know if you guys can see, but it's worth washing. This is the skirt. The elastic is totally shot on this, but I like that. There's like a peekaboo panel, and underneath that is lace. Oh dear, my battery is low. We're at 9%. So that's interesting. And actually, though, the lace is not backed by anything. So that's cute, but the elastic is totally shot. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'll try and wash it. I'll see what the discoloration does. This is the thing that somebody could probably do something with if they were interested enough in it to try to salvage it by, you know, I don't know, sewing other things. Maybe I could dye it. That doesn't fix the waist, but I can get that fixed. All right, I am going to leave you to look at this lovely backdrop of nothing and go get a plug because we are at 9% battery and that's not going to go well. Be right back. I'm gonna come back probably. I'm not gonna leave you alone. Okay. Where is I should have known that I would not make it through. Hi, Boo. You guys can't even see Elvis. That's the saddest. All right, let's see. Oh, I've got to disturb a cat here, and I apologize for this. No, not. I need this puppy. Okay. Let's see how this is. Plug that in. Let's see if this will reach. Ah! You guys didn't go away yet. I mean, the computer didn't die. You may have all gone away. I don't know. We're plugged in and we're in good shape. Okay. So let's get back to business. So this is one of the suits that looks like, that definitely has one hole. It looks like it's got several holes. So this I don't know what to do with this. This is a Liz Claiborne It is made in the US. I don't see a content tag. It feels like it's wool. I don't know if I should donate this. I mean, the back actually has quite a few holes. So there's a large-ish hole here. This looks like an actual tear. And then down here, hole, hole, hole. Those could be moth holes. So the jacket in the back especially is like, yeah, maybe some kids would use this in a theater production, but I mean, who's looking on Etsy to buy shit from a theater production? There's a lot of moth holes looking things in here. I don't know that I would want to donate this because why, right? Like, is there a point to it? The skirt maybe is okay. So I could, nope, that's got moth holes too. So I just feel like there's not really much of a point in donating that, right? I mean, it's, you know. Well, Elvis is sleeping on all of the things that are going to be going in the garbage. So this is the second one of these cedar things that I found. I'm pretty sure they're probably not doing anything useful anymore. All right, we're getting down here. We're getting like, well, here's just an empty hanger. This pile of hangers is so massive. All right. Another suit. This is one that I saw that seems like it was very grimy. The brand is Herbert Grossman, and I think there's actually a couple more Herbert Grossman pieces. But I don't know that this is salvageable. This might be silk. It is. It's silk, dry clean only, of course. You know, a typically sort of conservative style suit. It is like a beige-ish, but it's very yellowed. And I don't think that I would be interested enough in getting it dry cleaned. I don't think it would do well being washed. I could just donate it. This is something, I don't know, I can't tell if the discoloration is bad enough, but I think that it probably is. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with that yet. But it's got the hanger that I can sell. Yeah. A little bit of hanger. We'll see. I don't know how to deal with that yet. All right, let's put it over there. It's not as discolored as I thought it was when I got it. That's one of the things that I sort of briefly glanced at. All right, here's another suit. This is Albert Nippon. I don't know if I pronounce. Oh dear God, my finger's broken. Albert Nippon. Right, you can see that. It's velvety, which is kind of neat. Houndstooth. I don't really see holes or major discoloration. It would have to be dry cleaned if I wanted to sell it, unless I'm going to try and sell it in a lot of as-is suits that are really cheap price. Actually, I said velvet. Not that this is all that. Okay, it's wool. Huh. It's wool, but it's got like the texture. It's interesting. The collar is velvet, but the texture of the houndstooth is almost velvety. It's weird. Okay. So I don't know. It's interesting. Albert Nippon is one of those brands that I feel like maybe is more expensive. I don't know how much of a following he has. I don't really ever look him up. It does look like the bottom of the skirt, at least, is discolored. It's lighter than the rest of the skirt. It's hard to tell if that's, it could just be, oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe I'll make a cut. All right, this is a skirt that does have a jacket to it. It's kind of neat. It's got a little, the kick pleat's got some buttons. Bad, basic skirt. Let's see what the jacket is. Here's the jacket. Not super exciting. Very basic 80s. Harvey Bernard. Another brand I see that I don't pick up, but this is a little bit older. So, oh, nope, moth holes. Sorry, Harvey. You got moth holes. No, the skirt is whatever. Okay, so skirt will go in the we'll see what happens pile. The jacket. No. I need somebody to tell me what to do with those things. All right, this is an ugly suit. The suit or just a jacket? It's a suit. Okay, so the suit again. Let me show you guys the tag the first time because who fucking cares? The suit. I feel like I see a lot of these in the vintage section of my thrift store. They're always like some ugly 80s shit. I mean, it's all right. As far as ugly 80s suits go, it's not the worst. I don't see holes in it yet. It smells attic-y, basement-y, whatever. There's the skirt. The skirt on its own is almost a little more promising, but it still doesn't matter. All right. This is, oh, some hanger fell off. Okay. Casper. I've seen that before. Who actually picks these up? I feel like this has got to be some like JCPenney brand or something. I don't know. Sorry, JCPenney, but you know. Probably polyester. I think this would just be a straight to donation situation. Here's the skirt. Suit. Here's the skirt. I think that this might be my last item. I thought I had another prairie blouse in there, but it might have just been that one that I saw, the calico-y thing. So this is the other Herbert Grossman suit. This is the suit that's really in bad condition. Very, very discolored. So I don't know. I mean, the suit itself is not terrible. It's not great, but I think it's just sort of beyond salvaging. I definitely would not bother getting this dry cleaned because I don't even know if this stuff's going to come out. It is pretty severely discolored, which you still can't see. So, and this is another one. I don't know if I should just donate it or if this is something that somebody else would care enough about to have dry cleaned. I certainly do not. Yeah, it's got another union tag. This is definitely a later 80s union tag. 90s rather, sorry. So, like I said, I think the other red, white, and blue union tag ended in 95, and then this would have come later, but I might have my dates wrong because I want to say this is 80s, but I don't know. So that seems to be it. That's what I got. So that was my giant haul. I spent $100 on all of those pieces, and I think that with some of those pieces, I had the 2 butterfly sleeve blouses that I was really excited about, the Gunnies blouse that I was really excited about, the prairie blouse that I liked a lot. I feel like early on there, ooh, that vest. That vest was kick-ass. That leather weird thing. This little weird had the other sleeveless thing. So there was enough pieces in here that I am legitimately excited about. And there's enough pieces in here that could be lotted up or, you know, and that's going to be my challenge is the pieces that I'm not excited about. Will I actually get them listed, right? So I think that what this will come down to is I'll pull the pieces that I'm super excited about, make sure that I'm not just making my money back, but making a profit on those. Because I think that, I guess is a first time bulk buy, right? And I say bulk buy, like obviously I bought in bulk before, but it's all been hand selected bulk. So this is sort of the first time where I've done an as is lot of clothing that I purchased. So even if I break even, I think that I would consider it a good learning experience. I was saying before that I'm not into confrontation, and this is not the right view to have, but I look at it as, you know, I go to their house and I'm putting them out of their way because I want to come and look at the stuff before I buy it, which is a ridiculous thought process, but that's, you know, so I kind of want to be as unintrusive as possible. Like, how dare you ask to see the thing you're going to buy before you buy it? But, you know, so that kind of stuff is stuff that I'm going to have to get over. I am also not a good negotiator. I'm getting a little bit better with that because I do have thresholds, right? So I don't call it negotiation, but if I'm only, like, there's some things it's like, I'm not going to pay more than $30 for this item and somebody's asking $100, I'm probably not even going to bother talking to you about it. But I've had instances at estate sales before where I kind of come with a load of stuff. They're like, oh, $500. And I'm like, $500? And I'm like, okay, well, I got to take stuff out of here. And they're like, well, what did you want? And it's like, look, I've got $150. Like, what do I have to take out of here? You know, and then I end up getting the whole thing minus like 2 pieces for the $150. So that's kind of my only negotiation tactic at this point. But it teaches me, for me, negotiation is more about me being confident in my own evaluation of things and in my sort of right to haggle. without it coming across as an insult to the other person, which I'm always very sort of afraid of. So I don't want to make them unhappy. So that helps me. I set little rules for myself, and that's how I do my negotiation online with best offers on eBay and stuff like that. I set a price. I then know in my head how much I'm willing to come down, and that's what I use. And it's kind of like a one and done. I usually don't even go back and forth with that. So that's all stuff I have to learn. This was a good learning experience, and I think that I will definitely make an easy profit, honestly. But let's see, maybe I will try to do an update video once I've gone through and sort of reevaluated some prices on some things. I really appreciate all you guys who have watched and joined me. It's been a really long time since I've done a video. I always want to do more of them, but I always try to put some like listing and stuff before that, and so I've procrastinated for apparently 6 months. But thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. I don't remember how to stop this. All right, I do.